¿Cómo sería? Sería como, hi, I'm Kerien and welcome to my channel. You may have noticed I'm speaking in English. I've never practiced my pronunciation properly and sometimes I can't even understand myself. I mean, obviously I have an accent too, but I blame it more on the fact that I don't pay attention in hearing English. I just read the subtitles if I'm watching a series. I've tried to watch some without subtitles on, but it's still hard. I guess I need to give myself the opportunity to be more cringe. I hate that word so much. I mean, what's even cringe? What I'm also not sure about is if I'm going to recognize what I'm trying to say when I look back to my own recordings, and if I can't even get what I was trying to say, of course no one else will. I kind of run out of ideas too. I was thinking about learning to put on makeup for the first time ever. Wow! But I don't like makeup on my face. Also, what's considered putting makeup on? I've seen that mascara, like lip gloss and blush. I've heard that kind of thing is makeup too, which makes a lot of sense. So I guess I do like makeup, just not that stuff that could make my face all blurry and I don't know, I just no. I mean, if I do a video like 24 hours speaking just in English, it will be kind of like a vlog, I guess. Why not just do a vlog in Spanish? Don't worry. Be happy. You know what I've noticed when I speak in English? I saw a lot of videos and stuff where they mention when you're speaking another language, it's natural for your voice to change. What you think is your original timbre how else can I say it? What we believe that is the natural tone of our voice changes according to the language we're speaking. So I think I'm softer in English, but I also believe it's due to a lack of confidence. So I don't feel as confident. But also I've grown in quite a loud family. When it comes to English, I don't really have that kind of influence. Spanish in general must be different. It's kind of more cheerful, or maybe that's just my impression, or I'm just more cheerful in Spanish. I've also never had a conversation with another living person in English with my voice. On Discord, I type haha, wah, English, woo, haha. I do that, but I don't speak in English. Of course, I'm scared. What if they don't understand me? Because I barely understand myself sometimes, and I also judge myself a lot. I believe it's easier for me to open up about this kind of more emotional and personal stuff in another language, which is also something I've read somewhere, that it's easier for us to kind of speak about intimate or, well, personal stuff in another language that isn't the one you were born with, because that kind of puts a barrier. I feel protected somehow because this language is not a language that I've learned to judge myself in. For example, I feel the rush, addicted to your touch, bitch and bitch. Is it like that? I haven't got past that. I'm only recording this for myself because I'm too scared to upload this. I've also, like, I haven't even what's it called in English, like, you know, hair. I haven't brushed my hair and I'm in my pajamas. 12 minutes of recording and I'm recording in progress. That's why speaker says, no, that's not my speaker, of course not. Why will a speaker record something? It's on Zoom meetings. When the host is recording, it just says recording in just barking. That's why I prefer females. I hate when people refer to women as females, and I've seen it's not only me. And maybe I just think that you don't call a mujer hembra. You don't say that. It sounds weird. And for some reason, at least in my context, calling a man macho, which will be what in English? Male. Just bear with me, please. Male and macho are like terms that people even use as something real good. I gave up. There are a lot of things happening in the world right now, and most of them involve the United States. But I don't think speaking English is supporting them in any way. I just got reminded of that. For starters. Well, at least I understand what I'm trying to say. For starters, English isn't even from the United States. It's from the UK. Oh. That sound I just made, like, oh, that sound is in another language. I think that doesn't make much sense, but for me it does. Nah, it probably makes sense for you too. Like, if you sigh in Spanish, it will be like, if you sigh in English, it will be like, no, that's not it. It's just hard to demonstrate it. 3 days screen free. Why do I pull out my tongue so much? Well, I don't think I do it that much, but I'm kind of getting self-conscious about a lot of stuff. I don't want to look too ugly. I know I make a lot of faces. There's like a mindset that I've developed. There's this mindset of, well, I won't look pretty anyways. Why even try? It also happens with like when people offers me food, I just have this default response of no. And then when I give myself time to think about it after I gave a negative answer, I think, why did I say no? I do want some. It looks yummy. Now I want some. Why did I say no? And I have that default response with pictures of saying just yes, sure, yeah. Just choose the one where you look prettier. And it's not that I don't find myself beautiful. I appreciate myself. I like the way I look. Of course, not all of the time. I'm only human after all. Yeah, I'm only human after all. I can't look pretty all of the time because I'm not I was going to swear, but I don't think I want to do that. I don't swear in Spanish. I'm moving this door all of the time while leaning on it, and it's very uncomfortable. Like, I got like, when I thought about it, and I thought of saying, I'm not a freaking magazine to look pretty all the time. I'm leaking. No, not leaking. I'm liking this little guy because he looks so peaceful. He reminds me of a certain friend. I'd like to be surfing face in pictures, but I guess I'm not that photogenic. So impossible. That sounds so Mexican for me, impossible. I love that. But I'd also like to keep improving. There isn't a word for people from the United States apart from American, at least that I know of. You're not American.
Así fue como interpreté lo que Bad Bunny dijo al ganar el Grammy. Todas las personas del continente americano somos americanas.
USSS. Staters. unitense. Maybe this is inspirational from me, but I believe that choosing Americans as the word for people from the States, I think it was part of the mindset, all of this. We're the biggest country of all the continent, and you know, my arms are getting so tired. So I'm thinking maybe I can upload this, but I also think it's going to be such a hassle. For my first Instagram reel, I used automatic captions. Yeah, I can do that. I see the light. I see the light. This is a really bad angle. I don't like how I look at all. I was going to say that before. I don't want to look too ugly in my videos. I don't know. Is this part of making videos? Do I have to look weird sometimes? It bothers me a lot that I can't move my hands. Just laying on the floor, all sad, very sad. Doing this, moving my hands. I think it adds a lot to what I'm trying to say. To think about things like this, like, is it part of being a content creator? Making weird faces and stuff. I think it's more common that men can make funny faces and just look however they want to look, and when women do it, there's more pressure. Right now I'm just thinking like of Adam Sandler, a t-shirt with shorts, and we kind of have more options, and we are allowed, without being judged, to experiment a lot more with our looks. I didn't mean to talk about this. I don't feel like shouting in English. When I get excited, I raise my voice. I can't imagine myself shouting in English. And I just start pretending that I'm having a conversation with another person. And sometimes the scenarios don't even make sense to myself, but they don't need to. I just have fun speaking in English. My lips are getting dry. You know, I've been talking for almost 50 minutes. Let's do that. Let's take a sip. Just like yes in Spanish, like yap. Yapping. I'm yapping. Yap. Will I actually put this out there on YouTube? It's a lot embarrassing. Sort of reminder of how I used to sound, and then some years later, hopefully having a way better pronunciation. I go like compare my ability to speak in English. I can compare that to my future abilities. He's looking at me and he's asking for my attention. He wants me to touch him. Why would I say it like that? Yeah, my speaker isn't my girlfriend, but I do talk to her like, oh, sweetie, I'm going to charge you now. Don't worry. I got you, babe. Yeah. Why? Where I was going with this, my cello is not my baby, like Piratita, and it's not like my deer that I'm going to take care of. El violoncello. It doesn't have a name. It's Don Cello, and that's it. Because my mom started calling him that, and I use him because I can't say that it's an it. It's not just an object. It's my partner. We've been 7 years next to each other, and I think that we he probably has some abandonment issues because I just leave it laying in the ground for long periods of time. I had some stuff going on, but I'm healthy now. I'm finally able to play again, and now I can't imagine a life without it. I genuinely believe it's the best instrument out there. You can say I'm biased, and I am, but it's just perfect. There's nothing like it. I'm not going to cry. Sometimes my voice sounds like I'm about to cry, and I swear I'm not. And sometimes I share like a voice note, and people ask me like, why are you crying? And I'm like, I'm not crying, I swear, that's just what my voice does. I just think It's the perfect instrument for me, and I need to. Yeah, I gotta go practice. It's getting late. ¿Me estará creciendo un diente afuera del cachete? Ew. Mañana voy a practicar temprano. Thank you. I don't know how to say it in English. Thank you for sharing these minutes of your life with me. You can like the video, and if you decide to subscribe, I'll see you around. Bye bye. Ay, ¿por qué hice esto?